welcome back to Dadding. This is David. I wanted to talk to you about another enemy of dadding. I've mentioned fatigue in the past, but this one is a little bit similar. It's distraction. All right, because some of you might go to bed on time, but the time you're awake, you've got your mind pulled in a million different directions, or at least just one direction on your phone. The phone has got to be the biggest distraction for dads, whether it's work, whether it's social media, whether it's checking the scores. You've got to find a way, dads, to be engaged with the people in the room that matter most. And I know all this stuff about, all the crunchy people are like, oh, be present, be in the moment. And as goofy as they can say that stuff, there is some truth to it. So some of the guys who might be a little more down to earth and don't really care about like being in the moment, we're just trying to make it through each day, we do need to listen to some of that advice, that it's important not to get sucked into a Facebook debate when your kid's got real questions for you. Why not play with some blocks on the floor with him instead of getting tied up in a game that you won't remember in a couple years? Because here's the principle, and this came from a book called Essentialism, which I think is really great. Basically, here's the idea. If you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. When you say yes to one thing, you're always saying no to everything else. So if you're going to say yes to the phone, that means your attention is there and it's a no to your wife and kids. If you're going to say yes to whatever thing is online that you want to read about, then you're saying no to every other option in the room, including the people in the room. And I got to take this to heart too, because there are times where we're talking and I'll get sucked into reading some article on Wikipedia and I get lost in that rabbit hole on Wikipedia of learning different things, or I get caught checking the scores or reading some stupid thread on Twitter. My wife just the other day, she was asking me like, what are you reading? And I had just been reading some theory about why Luke Skywalker projected himself in the most recent Star Wars. Now, spoiler alert for that, sorry. But the reality is I had kids and a wife, and we even had my brothers over, I think, with their wives. And all of a sudden I had gotten sucked into this rabbit hole where my attention was gone. A yes to that Twitter thread was a no to everyone else in the room. Distraction is something you've got to kill if you want to gear up and give your energy to dadding. If you want to think about and play with and teach your kids what matters most. Don't teach them that they're secondary to a bunch of other things. If anything, do things that bring them alongside. So you can work on the car, you can work on the house, you can clean up together, you can build something together. That's engaging you together. But distractions are things that are just pulling you away. So remember, a yes to something is a no to everything else. So if you're going to gear up as a dad, if you're going to give your energy to this, then you've got to kill the distractions, the things that pull you away, instead of bring your kids along with you. You don't have to always just be looking right at your kids. You just have to realize that there are certain types of things we do, certain tasks that engage us with our kids, fixing the car, mowing the lawn, whatever. We work with them. We work alongside them. We play with them. And then there are things that are just pulling us out, and we've got to kill those things off. Your phone's probably a big one of them. Sometimes it might be just flipping the channels on that TV, but I'm sure there are other things that come into your life. And if you're going to give time to that thing that pulls you away from the family, then you've got to realize that a yes to that is a no to something else. Let's be focused and intentional as we gear up as dads to take this opportunity, because it's only here for a short time, all right?